The planet stores a complete, unedited record of its entire history beneath 90% of the world's ice. Reaching this record required a 100-hour journey for author Tishani Doshi. She traveled from Madras, India, crossing 9 time zones and several different climates to reach the very bottom of the globe. She arrived on the Russian research vessel Akademik Shokolsky, entering a landscape of blindingly white ice and a blue horizon that seems to never end. Antarctica functions as a window into the past. By examining this ice, we can see the story of where the Earth came from and where it is going. Studying this frozen landscape provides the information we need to predict the survival of our own species. 650 million years ago, India and Antarctica were joined together in a giant southern landmass called Gondwana. During this era, the climate was much warmer. It supported a huge variety of plants and animals, thriving long before humans ever appeared. When the age of the dinosaurs ended, the land began to break apart. India pushed north, colliding with Asia to form the Himalayas. South America drifted away, opening the Drake Passage. This created a cold current that trapped Antarctica in a permanent deep freeze. These changes took millions of years. It is a scale of time so vast that it can be difficult for a person to imagine. Standing on Antarctica today means standing on the biological and geological history that created our world. Compare those millions of years of geology to human history, which has existed for roughly 12,000 years, barely a few seconds on the planet's clock. In that short time, we have spread across the globe, building towns and megacities while competing for the world's limited resources. Burning fossil fuels has wrapped the planet in a layer of carbon dioxide. This is steadily increasing the average temperature of the entire world. Antarctica is unique because it has never sustained a human population. It remains the most pristine environment on Earth. Deep within the ice, we find half-million-year-old carbon records. These are trapped inside layers of ice, like a physical library of the ancient atmosphere. These ice cores provide the baseline data we need to measure the severity of the changes we are causing today. Preparing for the future is the goal of the Students on Ice program. They take high school students to the furthest edges of the planet. The program specifically targets teenagers because they will become the next generation of policymakers. They are at an age where they are ready to learn and take action. It is easy to ignore environmental changes from a distance, but when you see glaciers retreating and ice shelves collapsing with your own eyes, the threat of global warming becomes real. This ecosystem relies on microscopic organisms called phytoplankton. These tiny plants use the sun's energy to create food that sustains the entire Southern Ocean. If the ozone layer continues to deplete, these plants will die. Their disappearance would starve the region's marine life and disrupt the global carbon cycle. Their story contains a lesson for our own survival. If we take care of the small things, the big things will fall into place. Near the Antarctic Circle, the author's ship became stuck in thick ice. The crew was told to climb down the gangplank and walk directly onto the frozen ocean. They walked across a meter of ice. Directly beneath their feet was 180 meters of living salt water. Nearby, craybeater seals sunned themselves on the ice, just like dogs resting in the shade of a tree. The history of the continents, the pollution in our air, and the survival of microscopic plants are all tied together. Everything on this planet is connected. We don't yet know if humans will survive our own impact on the climate or go extinct like the dinosaurs. A lot can happen in a million years, but the choices we make today will decide the answer.